Now we're going to crochet the shoes of the minion, okay? For that, first we're going to crochet 6 chain stitches, okay? I know that I'm using this yellow wool, but I use it because if I use the black, you are not going to see, okay? But you have to crochet with a black one, okay? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally 6. Here we have 6 chain stitches. Now we're going to crochet single crochet stitches on each one. On the back from the third one. 1, 2, this is the third one, okay? We're beginning crochet. 1, the next one, 2, 3, and finally 4, okay? This. Now we're going to do in this row something similar to the oval pattern. We're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches in the same hole or point in both sides, okay? Now remember, because we have crocheted 1 here, only we need 2 more, okay? So in the same hole or point, 1, and the other one, 2. We're going to continue after this doing single crochet stitches until we arrive to the other side. For example, here I have arrived. Now here I have crocheted 1 single crochet stitch. Now I'm going to crochet 2 more, 1 and 2. We crochet a slip stitch to close this row and a chain stitch for the new one, okay? Now in this row number 2, we're going to crochet 3 increases on each single crochet stitch of the 3 that we have crocheted in the same hole, but only in the side where is not the slip stitch. So it's going to be here. Only you have to do 3 increases in all the row, only in this side, okay? And in the other one, only we're going to crochet single crochet stitches. So here is the first one. We're going to crochet our first single crochet stitch, okay? We're going to continue until we arrive to the first one of the 3, okay? Now here is the first one of the 3 that we have crocheted in the same hole. So the first increase is going to be in this point, 1, and in the same hole or point, 2. Now in the next one here, 1, and in the same hole, 2. This is going to be our second increase. And the next one, look, this one, 1 and 2, third increase. And now we're going to crochet only single crochet stitches until we arrive to the slip stitch. Look, in this way, where we have do it. So we're going to close it and we're going to crochet a chain stitch. Now for this row, what we are going to do, from row 3 and 4, we're going to crochet only single crochet stitches, okay? For row 3 and 4, only single crochet stitches. So first one, 1, we're going to continue crocheting only single crochet stitches on row 3 and 4 in this way. Now here I have crocheted my row number 3 and 4. Now I'm going to cut, okay, but I'm going to close with 2 knots, so we need a little bit of thread, okay? We'll look in this way. With our wool needle, we're going to crochet or to do the 2 knots, okay, the 2 final knots. Here I'm going to do the 2 knots that always we do. We're going to continue crocheting, okay? But we need to close this. Look, this way, and now we lose it in any place. For example, here. Lose it. We got it. This way. Now, in the row number 5, then that we have crocheted row number 3 and 4, we're going to do a decrease with 6 single crochet stitches in the side where is not the slip stitch, okay? For example, here we have 1, 2, 3 in this side, 1, 2, 3, and this is the side where is not the slip stitch. On a point before of the 3 of this side, we're going to do the attach or the hitch of the thread, okay? Here. So with the thread, we're going to attach or hitch there here. Look in this way. And now we're going to begin doing our decrease with 6 single crochet stitches. So the half of the first one, number 1, the half of the other, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally 6. And now we are going to introduce this thread into all of them at the same time. Look in this way. And now we introduce the thread here in this hole. Here is it, our decrease. Now we're going to crochet only single crochet stitches in all this row, okay? So here we're going to continue. Look here, only single crochet stitches, okay, in all this row, and always we are going to finish with a slip stitch. Now here I'm going to do the slip stitch, and now on the row number 6 we are only going to do single crochet stitches in all the row, okay, only single crochet stitch. Here, for example, we are going to begin crocheting. Look, here is it like a hole where we have done, look, the decrease. Here we are going to crochet a single crochet stitch when we are doing this row, okay? Look, single crochet stitch. We're going to continue doing that in all the row. Here I have finished it. Now we have to cut, but we need some thread because we are going to use this thread for do the last 2 knots and to join this shoe to the leg, okay, later. And that's how is going to see our shoe. Now we're going to begin crocheting the legs of our minion, okay? So first we're going to do a ring, and we're going to crochet there 6 single crochet stitches, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally 6, okay? We're going always to close it with a slip stitch, and we're going to begin the next row with a chain stitch, where we're going to do only increases, okay? In each single crochet stitch we're going to do an increase until we have 12 single crochet stitches. So we're going to begin in the first one, 1, in the same hole, 2. We're going to repeat that in all the row. Now we're going to close it with a slip stitch, and I'm going to begin with a chain stitch. Here we have already done our 6 increases, so we have 12 single crochet stitches. In this new row we're going to crochet only single crochet stitches, so we are going to crochet 12 single crochet stitches, okay? we're going to begin 1, 2, 3, and we're going to repeat this in all the row. Okay, now on the next row we're going to do the same thing. We are only going to crochet single crochet stitches, so we're going to crochet 12 single crochet stitches on this row. Okay, 2, 3, and we're going to continue doing this. Now here I'm going to close it with a slip stitch, and we're going to crochet a chain stitch. Okay, now in this new row we're going to do an increase in each single crochet stitch, so we're going to crochet 24 single crochet stitches. Okay, so we're going to begin doing our first increase, 1, and in the same hole 2, the next one 1, and in the same hole 2, and we're going to continue doing our increases. Okay, now on the next row we are going to only crochet single crochet stitches, okay, without increases, okay, in each single crochet stitch. Here I have already finished it. Now we're going to cut the thread, but you have to leave a length of this thread, because this thread we're going to use it for join the legs to the body. Okay, so we're going to like this length of thread, we're going to cut it, and we're going to pull out this, and then we're going to join it. We're going to do 2 legs. Okay, so repeat all this another time. Now we're going to learn how to crochet a band or a string, the one that goes with the lens or glasses of the Minion. Okay, now the length of this band is going to depend, because remember that there are different number of needles. In this course we're going to use from 2 to 3 millimeters, that's the range, and each number is going to produce a different size. So for that reason, maybe the length of the band that you're going to need is going to be different. Or for example, the amount of filling that you put to the amigurumi, that's another reason, because it can be different from the length of the band that I'm going to crochet. So you have to calculate. Okay, maybe I calculated that with 46 chain stitches is going to be well. Okay, so we're going to begin crocheting our 46 chain stitches. Remember, if you need to modify, do it. Okay, it will depend in many facts. Okay, so we're going to begin doing our 46 chain stitches. Here I have done my 46 chain stitches. Now I'm going to begin. Remember, we're going to begin until the 3rd chain stitch. Okay, the one that I am, second one, and until the 3rd one, but we're going to do it the first row on the back. Remember, 1, 2, here we're going to do the first single crochet stitch, and we're going to crochet the same pattern that we have learned before about rectangles and squares. We're going to use the same pattern. Okay, so we're going to do first this row. Okay, only single crochet stitches until we arrive to the final stitch or point of this row. Okay, now here we have already finished it. Okay, now we're going to turn it, and we're going to do the same thing that we have done with a square or rectangle pattern. Okay, we crochet a chain stitch, and now the first one we're not going to crochet until the second one. Yes, and now we're going to crochet normally without like the first row that we have done. Okay, so number 1, no, the second point, yes, and we're going to crochet there. Look, and we're going to continue until we arrive to the final stitch of this row. So this band or string is going to be done with 46 chain stitches and 2 rows, okay, of single crochet stitches. We're going to continue doing. Now here I have already done, and now I'm going to cut, and I'm going to leave a length or a little bit amount of thread because we're going to just pull out, and we're going to need it because we need to join both sides in this way with a wool needle, okay? So for that reason we're going to leave a little amount of thread. Now look how it seems. It needs to be a little bit tight, okay? It needs to be like that because if not, it's going to fall it, and we don't want to do a joining or a sewing in each point to the body. We don't want that, so maybe it have to be a little bit tightly, okay? And here I'm going to join it with a wool needle. Look, we're going to introduce here the other point of the other side in this way. Look, we're going to pull it. Now in the other one, look, in this way we're going to do it. Another one, and the final one is here with the other point. Look, like this, and here is it. Now we're going to do 2 knots, okay? Here I'm going to do 2 knots in this way, and then when we do the 2 knots, we lose the thread in any direction and we cut it, okay? The way that is going to see it is like this. Look. Now we're going to crochet the gloves of the Minion. I'm going to use this wool yellow because with the black one you won't see the stitches. For that reason I'm going to use this, but you have to crochet with the black wool, okay? Now for the first row we're going to do a ring. With a ring we're going to crochet 6 single crochet stitches, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finally 6. Now we're going to close it, and we're going to close all this row always with a slip stitch, okay? And we're going to begin with a chain stitch. Now for row number 2 we're going to do 6 increases, so we're going to have 12 single crochet stitches, okay? So in the first one, remember, we're going to begin here with our increase, 1, and in the same hole another one, 2. First increase, the next point, 1, and in the same hole 2, and we're going to repeat that in all the row. Here I have crocheted my row number 2. Now I'm going to do a slip stitch, close it. For row number 3, 4, and 5 we are only going to crochet single crochet stitches. We're going to crochet 12 single crochet stitches in each row, okay? Row 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to begin crocheting our single crochet stitches in all these rows. Now here I have crocheted my row number 5. Now on row number 6 we're going to crochet 6 decreases, okay? So we're going to have 6 single crochet stitches. This is going to be a row with only decreases. So the half of the first one, the half of the other, the first two, the other two, first decrease, the next point, look, here is it, the half of this one, the half of the other two, and the other two, next decrease, the half of the other, the half of the other, and we're going to repeat that in all the rows. Now here I have finished it, and now I'm going to close it with a slip stitch. Okay, now here we're going to do in the row number 7 only increases. Okay, 6 increases, 1 increase in each point. Okay, so we're going to have 12 single crochet stitches, but we are going to do it in the half that is outside, okay, in the outer half of the point. Okay, for example, this is all a point, look, all a point, like this one, look, but the half that we want to crochet is this one, that is outside, the outer half. For that, we're going to do there a increase. Okay, so look, in the first half we do 1, and in the same hole or point 2. The next one, look, is this one, in this one 1 and 2, and we're going to repeat that in all the row until we have 12 single crochet stitches or 6 increases. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Now here I have finished the increases, so we're going to crochet a slip stitch, look, and we're going to cut the thread because we're going to do the 2 final knots, but we need some length of this thread because we're going to use it to join these gloves to the arms. Okay, so for that reason you need like this, but first we're going to fill it. Okay, we're going to fill it. How? With using the other part of the needle, this one, the down part. Okay, we're going to use it for fill it. In this way. And here is it, our glove. You have to crochet 2 of these with a black wool. Okay, now we're going to do the arm of our mini. So first we're going to do a ring, and we're going to crochet 5 single crochet stitches around this ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to close it with a slip stitch. Okay, we're going to begin with a chain stitch. Now for the second row we're going to crochet 5 increases, so we're going to have 10 single crochet stitches. This is going to be the first increase, 1, and in the same hole 2, and we're going to repeat that. Now we're going to do 11 more rows where we're going to crochet only single crochet stitches. So in each row we're going to crochet 10 single crochet stitches. Okay, 11 more rows we're going to crochet until we arrive to the row number 13. Okay, so we're going to begin 1, 2, and we're going to repeat that in all these rows. Now that we have already crocheted the row number 13, we're going to fill it, okay? In this way, look. We're going to turn the needle in this way, and we're going to introduce the filling on the arms, our minion, in this way. And now, on this row number 14, we're going to crochet 5 decreases. So we're going to have 5 single crochet stitches. We're going to begin the half of the first one, the half of the next one. This is our first decrease. And we are going to repeat that in all the row. Here I have finished, so we're going to do the last slip stitch, and we're going to cut the thread, but we're going to need a little bit amount of thread. We pull out, and we are going to do the 2 final knots with our wool needle. Here, for example, we're not going to close, okay? Only we're going to do in a point the 2 knots, 1, and in the same point we're going to do the next one, okay? In this way, we're going to pull out, and we're going to loose the thread in this way. Now we're going to cut it. We're going to have our arm. Now we're going to introduce that needle in this way. You can see that here is it, all this the row that we have crocheted the increases. Now in this part that is after the increases, where they end, we're going to introduce the needle, and then we're going to introduce another time, because we want the thread inside of the glove in this way. Now we're going to introduce the needle, look, in the row that I have say you where is it before or where they end the increases, okay? Look in this way. We introduce here the needle, and we're going to introduce in each point of our arm, okay? Look that here is the side where it's not closed. So in each point we're going to introduce the needle in this way. That's the way that we're going to join it. Now on the next one, look, it is one, okay? We're going to introduce on the next point in this way on the row that is before this increases, the row of increase, and then we're going to introduce it on the next, look, point, all the point we're going to hold of our arm, and in this way we're going to continue joining. Now that we have already joined it, we're going to do another row for joining, okay? So now we're going to introduce the needle on the half of the point where are the increases. Look, in this row are the increases. So we're going to introduce there, but only the half that is inside of the row, okay? Only the half. For example, here is it all the point, and here is it only the half inside of that point. So we are going to introduce there, and we're going to introduce on the next row that is here, okay? The next row after we the row that we have used for join the glove to the arm. Okay, the next one we're going to introduce there the needle in this way. Look, now the next point, only we use the half that is inside. Look, and we introduce on the next point, and we're going to continue doing that in all the row. Now here I have finished it, so here we're going to do the final 2 knots, okay, on the final point. Okay, for example in this one I'm going to do it, the 2 final knots that we always do. 1, and the next one in the same hole, 2. Now we're going to loose the thread in any direction, and we have already done. We're going to cut it and look, and here we have already finished the arm. Now for the eyes of our minion, first we're going to crochet a ring where we are going to crochet 8 single crochet stitches, okay, around this ring. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to close it with a slip stitch, okay, and now we're going to crochet the next row, row number 2, only increases until we have a total amount of 16 single crochet stitches, okay. So we're going to do an increase in each point. First increase, second one, and we're going to repeat that. Here I'm going to close with a slip stitch. Now for row number 3, we're going to crochet 1 single crochet stitch, 1 increase, 1 single crochet stitch, 1 increase until we have 24 single crochet stitches. So the first one, 1 single crochet stitch, then 1 increase, 1 single crochet stitch, 1 increase, and we are going to repeat that in all the row. Here I'm going to do the slip stitch of row number 3, okay, but first we're going to do the change of color, okay, with a gray color wool, okay. So here I'm going to do the slip stitch but with a new wool. We're going to pull these 2 threads and we're going to do the chain stitch for row number 4. On row number 4, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitch, 1 increase, 2 single crochet stitch, 1 increase until we have 32 single crochet stitches, okay. So remember that we are going to lose this thread. So in the first one, 1, look, I put over the thread always, 1, the next point 2, and the next one the first increase, look, this way. Now the next one, 1, 2 single crochet stitches, and finally an increase. We're going to repeat that in all the row, and look, we have lost the thread. Now here I have done the row number 4. Now we're going to turn it, okay, this circle, and we're going to crochet row number 5 with the elastic stitch. We have already seen that stitch before, but now in a circular pattern. It's the same thing. For example, I want to crochet in this point, the first one, okay. So if I want to crochet here I'm going to introduce from the back, okay? From back to the front, the needle in this way. Look, here I'm going to crochet. Okay, if we are doing, for example, single crochet stitch, it's going to be from front to the back, but now we're going to do it from the back to the front. Look, and we're going to crochet a stitch. Look, now the next one here is going to be, okay, go from the back to the front. Look, now which is the next one? This point. Okay, go from the back to the front this way. Now this point. Okay, from the back to the front, and we're going to repeat that in all the points. That's the way that we do elastic stitches. From the back to the front. Now here for the slip stitch, we're not going to do it in the normally way. No, we're going to do from the back. Look, from the back to the front in this way, and we're going to do the slip stitch. Now a chain stitch. For the next row, we're going to do only single crochet stitches on row number 6, but we're only going to do it taking or holding the half interior of each point. For example, here is it all the point. The half in the interior, this is the half that is inside. Look, this one. All the point is this. Look, the half inside is this. So we're going to crochet single crochet stitches in all this row number 6, only holding the half inside or interior of each point. Look, in this way. We're going to repeat that in all the rows. And here we're going to do the slip stitch in a normally way. Look. And here is it, the eye with the length of our minion. Okay. Now cut it and do the 2 knots or finish it with a wool needle, okay, like we always do with all our amigurumis or parts of there. Now here I'm going to do it. First knot. Look, we move around the thread this way. Another time, move around, and then we lost the thread in any place. We pull a little bit and we cut it. And maybe you can do it here too with a knot. Don't worry about to cut it, because when we join to the body, it will not see. That's the way that is going to see it. The eye and the length. Now we're going to begin joining all the parts of our minion, but first we're going to begin in the down part, okay? With the shoe and with the leg, we're going to join it. For do that, we're going to need our wool needle and some thread. Now, you have to fill the shoe in this way, look. And then we're going to join all the points, but only the interior half we're going to use, okay? For example, here is it, all a point, a complete point. The half that is on the exterior, this is the outer part, look, or outer half. And here is it, the interior half. We're going to use this, the interior half. Now, first we introduce here the needle, and we're going to do a small knot, okay? Because this thread is not joined to the leg or the shoe. That's the reason. So we're going to do this, look. We introduce and we move this around the needle. Here is it, our small knot, this way. Now that we have done that first point, we're going to introduce. So we're going to use the row which the first row finish and the second one begins, okay? So it's going to be this one, look, this one, first row, then that space, and then the second one. Here we're going to do it. So we introduce here, then thread in this way. Finish it and look how cute it seems. And now we're going to introduce here inside of the leg, and here we're going to do the two final knots here in any place, but they don't have to be seen. Look, here I can do it. Going to do first knot, one, the knot that always we do, the final part of an amigurumi or a figure, and two, and then you can lost them and now we're going to cut it. You're going to do the same thing with the other leg and shoes. Look. Now I'm going to join the leg to the body, okay? You have to see something important. The shoe, the front of the shoe, it has to be with a smaller square, in front, okay? In this way. The bigger is going to be on the back, okay? The bigger square. That's very important. So here, and we have to put filling, okay? Fill it, the leg. And now we're going to join it here. Look, in this way. We're going to begin joining. And for that, here I'm going to begin. We're going to introduce look here, we introduce the needle on any point of the down part, and we introduce it with all the point on the leg, okay? We introduce all the point, the needle. We are going to use all the point, not only the half. We're going to do the same thing. We introduce the needle in the next point of the back part or down part of the down part and we introduce it in all the point of the leg in this way. And we're going to continue doing that around all the circumference of the leg. Look here, I have already joined it. Look, all the points this way. And now what we're going to do? We're going to introduce the needle inside of the cloth, okay? All the cloth here. And now we're going to do the 2 knots that we always do in the final part of an amigurumi or a figure. And now what we are going to do, we're going to loose the thread and we put it this way. Now I'm going to join the arms to the body. Here, for example, we're going to do with our wool needle and some yellow wool. We're going to do first here a knot. Look, in this way. We move around the thread. Look, in this way. Here we have a knot, okay? Now we're going to join it like here. Look, in this way. We're going to join it in this way. So here we're going to introduce, look, in the point where is it ubicated the place that we want to join our arm, okay? Look, here I have done, okay? This way, look how it seems. Do it many times if you see that needs, okay? Now we're going to finish it. How? We're going to introduce here the needle inside of, look, the arm in this way, and we're going to do the two final knots. Look here. Going to do it. First one, 1 and 2. And now we introduce the needle and we lose it in any direction. Look. And here we have already joined it. We're going to join the glass or the lens to the string or band, okay? For do it, we're going to do this. Look, going to introduce here. We're going to do a knot this way. Introduce the point here on the lens and on the band. Look, in this way. That's the way that is going to see it. And we do this in all the row. Look, we introduce point here, the needle here on the point of the length, and then the point, all the point of the band. We continue doing this, and we're going to do it here and here, okay, in both sides. So here we're going to be doing some knots to go up, and then we do it in the same thing here, now up, okay. For example, here we're going to join it this way. Look how it seems here. Another one. And now we're going to do this, look, to go up. Look, this way. And now we do the same thing, but now here. A point here, on the length and on the band. We're going to repeat that, okay, until we arrive here, and we're going to do the two final knots. And you're going to see in this way, okay.